The holiday season can be one of the best times of the year, but it can also be one of the saddest and loneliest. And there is study after study showing that we're actually having a loneliness epidemic. And men today, specifically, are part of the loneliest groups of people of all time. Men are attending and graduating college in record low numbers. And today, more men than ever are struggling with porn addictions and substance abuse. And one of the most interesting findings to me is that more men are dropping out of the dating market right now than at any point in our history. And I know this because I've seen it with my own eyes and I hear it from a lot of you guys on an almost daily basis. But besides that, it's all over social platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And I swear, I can't look at any of those platforms for more than about 5 minutes without being fed something about the whole men versus women situation that's happening right now. And with all the bickering back and forth and blaming the other side for the problem, there's no wonder that men are just dropping out. Let's face it, we live in a digital world and almost nothing is targeting this older demographic of men over 40. So let's look at social media, for example. Today's social media is friendly to women, but unfriendly to men. And that's just one more thing that's having just major impacts on the mental health of men. And just last week, I made a video talking about how the fashion industry today seems to be pushing this, I guess, stay in your pajamas message where anything that's sloppy is now somehow fashionable. And I also mentioned in that video about how this is really starting to affect people's overall mental health, self-esteem, and well-being on both sides, both men and women. Because when you like what you see in the mirror, you feel good about yourself. And when you don't like what you see, you just don't feel good about yourself. And in my opinion, that's a big problem. But of course, liking what you see, of course, goes a lot deeper than just what you see on the surface. And that's why I'm proud to partner today with BetterHelp. I've done therapy before by myself, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, it works. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. So when you use BetterHelp, it's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. And you can tap into their network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with all sorts of things in your life that you might be dealing with, including the things that I've had to deal with, like loneliness and isolation. There's going to be a link down below in the description to betterhelp.com/fashion. Clicking that link gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp so that you can connect with the therapist and just give it a try to see if it helps you out. You just answer a few questions initially about your needs and your preferences, and BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video, and you can message your therapist at any time and then schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. And because finding a therapist sometimes is a little bit like blind dating, if you just don't click with that therapist, which can be common, you can easily switch to a new therapist for absolutely free without having to stress about like who's in your insurance network. So if you're struggling, please consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Just click the link in the description or just go visit betterhelp.com/fashion. The link is down below for you. Thank you, BetterHelp, for supporting my channel and for sponsoring today's video. Now let me jump back over to social media for a second because here's something that I find super interesting. Platforms like YouTube and Instagram are basically big marketing machines that cater to demographics that they believe are the most valuable. And I'll tell you right now that their valuable demographic is under the age of 34. And while I do understand the power of youth when it comes to marketing, I strongly believe that all of these mega platforms with intelligent algorithms are just completely missing the spending power of men over 40. I mean, think about it. Older men, arguably, represent the most powerful demographic of spenders on the planet. But yet no one seems to really care. The algorithm would just rather suck you in and hook you with just hours of scrolling, brainless entertainment, video games, and half-naked women that do absolutely nothing to improve your life. Okay, changing gears for a second. An easy trap to fall into, especially this time of year, is spending time with people that make you feel like crap. So I get it though, right? If you're a single guy and you work a lot of hours and maybe you just don't have a big social circle, you feel like you need to accept the invitation to that one holiday party, even though those people aren't truly your friends because they have this crazy way of making you feel bad about yourself every single time you see them. Here's the thing though, and I guess it's just really up to you to decide, but what's worse? Socializing with people that make you feel like shit, or staying home and just feeling a little bit lonely, or just finding something else to do by yourself. Like I said, I get it because you do want to be included and invited to those holiday parties and social events, but it shouldn't be at the expense of being mistreated, because that, my friend, is a boundary that should be non-negotiable. But all of this brings up another really interesting point, and that's this group of men who wants to be left alone and have chosen that lifestyle. And for the record, that is totally fine. But if you've chosen to live alone and be alone and have that lifestyle, I think it's kind of hard to complain about being lonely, because again, that was your decision. But the reason I bring that up is because I hear from guys all the time who thought that going their own way was the answer, but then later they realized it wasn't for them. We are all different, right? Because some guys just want to be left alone and they can deal with being solo and living that lifestyle. Other guys just don't want that. And there's nothing wrong with either side. I think the main problem here is that men that are lonely that don't want to be. They're basically stuck, and that is a really tough pill to swallow sometimes, especially during the holidays. And my advice is the same that it's always been, but I know it's not for everyone, but just try to get out of your house from time to time. Find things to do away from home that can occupy your time and put you around other people. Find local events in your area and go do the event, right? Maybe buy that ticket to that special food and wine pairing at that new restaurant and just go do the thing. And here's something else that I've talked about before, and it's to follow restaurants and event spaces in your area on either Instagram or Facebook so you can stay informed of what might be coming up, because they'll post about it. Also, join email newsletters from all the cool places near you so you can get information about any upcoming events. And at this stage in your life, you should have no problem just going to something like that by yourself, because look, that is a great way to engage with people in your community. It's a great way to meet new people, and in the process, you'll have a great time. Now look, I don't have all the answers, but I do know what works for me. And because a lot of what I talk about works for me, I mention it in videos like this because it might work for you as well. And listen, if anything I said today resonates with you, please consider subscribing so that you can become a part of this amazing community of legends. And as always, my friends, thank you very much for watching. Live well, and I'll see you in the next one.